And I'll ask this question of everybody else. What's the most important Christmas gift you ever received? I'll tell you mine. Maybe not the most important, but you'll know what I mean. It was very special.
Love you, Justin.
Take your time. Take your time. Take a deep breath and take your time.
You think you know people, and you do, but you don't know that a fucking pair of shoes can change everything. I'll never forget how those shoes made me feel.
In terms of Christmas stories, man, they're, it's kind of like lasting memories, when your relatives aren't around. We used to do, so a little thing about my family in Houston. I come from a family of 65, probably now even bigger than that, 65 cousins. My grandparents had 13 brothers and sisters. I came from a family of 13 brothers and sisters. It was a big family. So every December we would do something at my grandparents' house, and like literally it was a week extravaganza. Everybody came over. So we did a Christmas party with everyone showing up to one family member's house, like everybody packed in a house. Then we did, our grandparents thing, and Santa came down the steps and all this stuff. Just unbelievable memories that, traditions will be passed on forever. So there's like certain songs, man. Like I walked into a store the other day and they were playing the Christmas Carol, the chestnuts roasting an open fire tune. And I bawled, dude, like a 4-year-old, because it reminded me of my grandparents.
Wow.
And then this one lady came and hugged me. She's like, "Hey, what, are you okay?" And I said, "Ma'am, I'm fine." I said, "It's just this song. It reminds me of my grandparents." And then she shared a story about like how Dolly Parton's "Christmas I'll Be Home with Bells On" song reminded her of her dead husband. He passed away, and I was just like, yeah. So it was just kind of like one of those things that I was just like, man, but it's sad, but it's also very beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's cool. So
it's beautiful. Yeah, it's great, man. I wish it was Christmas all year long. I do. I really do. Except people, except for those people who want gifts and shit. Hey, forget that.
Yeah. The older we're getting, man, it's more like I don't even. I mean, you buy yourself whatever you want anyway. I mean, it's just I'm in it for the pies and gingerbread cookies at this point.
Yeah. Well, I'll share a Christmas story since we're just kind of bullshitting here today before the holiday. And I'll ask this question of everybody else. What's the most important Christmas gift you ever received? I'll tell you mine. Maybe not the most important, but you'll know what I mean. It was very special. When I grew up, my mom and dad are pastors, right? They're ministers. They're very not lucrative business at all. Okay. Being a minister is not a big money maker for most ministers. Well, my mom and dad were one of those, and kind of still are. And when I was a little kid, I remember my mom making me clothes. Okay. In junior high, she would make me shorts. They were horrible, man. Like they looked like like they came off of a dead golfer or something. Like it was horrible. And I got made fun of a bunch. Back then, they didn't have any of these fucked up, I'm sorry. I don't mean that. But it was like you could be picked on ruthlessly at school when I was in school. Okay. So I got picked on a lot. Well, I remember on my 13th, I just turned 13. Because my birthday's in December 5th, in fact. So right before Christmas. So I turned 13, and I had never had anything like this before. But I opened my Christmas gift, and I have 2 older brothers, and one's 8 years older than me, and the other one's 10 years older than me. So they're basically adults at this stage, because I'm 13. I open up this Christmas present from my brother one of my brothers, and I have no idea what it is. And I opened it up, and for the first time in my life, I saw, I held, I owned a pair of Nike tennis shoes. It was like motherfucking salvation. I had tennis shoes like that weren't like from Kmart. Okay. You know? And I looked at my brother and I was so excited, had tears in my eyes, and I even do to this day because you have no idea. So sorry, everybody.
Take your time. It's okay.
Love you, Justin.
Take your time. Take your time. Take a deep breath and take your time.
You think you know people, and you do, but you don't know that a fucking pair of shoes can change everything. I'll never forget how those shoes made me feel. So, if I could put that Christmas in a box and give it to everybody, I would. I don't know how. But a pair of shoes changed everything for me that day. That was the first and only pair of Nikes that I'd ever had. And I remember, man, they felt good. They felt good on my feet, not just to my psyche, because I knew that I wasn't going to be made fun of at school for these, but I also knew that they felt good like a real fucking pair of shoes should. Right? My toes are cramped like this. If you were to look at my feet, they're not crippled, like I can walk fine and everything. But my toes are fucked up. And I've been told that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I was put into fucking shoes that just didn't fit. So at age 13, I got a taste of what shoes should feel like. Is that fucking weird or what, everybody? Sorry, I'm over here bawling my ass off.
No, I think it's great, dude. It's just so much meaning in that story, man.
Well, I appreciate you saying it. I gotta find my Kleenexes, and then somebody owes my fucking ass a story.
It's fun. Well, nobody got a story? Anybody else got a story?
No, I don't have a story, but I do got something to say because it kind of reminded me of that when Justin was speaking. I was talking to my wife the other day about Christmas and stuff, and man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a person, I've been fighting about Christmas, I think, for like hundreds of years, and I'm not even that damn old. But my point is kind of like the point that Justin was making. It's like something like that can make you feel so great, and it should. And it seemed like, just in my personal opinion, it seemed like, why do we have to wait for Christmas to feel so good? It's like it takes advantage of us
Exactly.
in a situation to where a lot of people don't have that Snow White Christmas that they show on TV. And so what it does to a lot of people that it doesn't advertise in the public is that a lot of times it makes people feel real depression and, like down, because the things that you see on TV that you think Christmas is supposed to be like, and then when it doesn't quite go that way in your household, it kind of puts you in a cucumber, like, damn. And it can depress you, especially from a youngster, coming up, and you don't get toys because your family's not, financially set and stuff like that. And, it makes life hard just mentally, thinking that, maybe people don't love you, or, your life is terrible because you couldn't get things that you wanted as a kid, or vice versa, or maybe, I don't know. It's just I'll try to look at it from the other side of Christmas, to where, like, man, everybody doesn't have happy Christmases. Some people lose family members, so every time that time of the year come around, they get real sad, and it hurts my feelings to see people that maybe sometimes they cannot do for their kids or their families, and I see them stressing out about it, as far as financially situations. And I try to remind people, like, hey, look, man, it should be more about love, man. Try to express your love to people instead of stressing yourself out financially if you can or cannot get people gifts or things like that. Because, at the end of the day, gifts, they diminish, they tear up, they, get thrown away later on. But you know, if you can be there for somebody and enjoy their moment, their essence, their love, man, I think that's like the best Christmas gift you can ever give someone.
That's well said, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100% agree with that. I think you have to, was it you, Corey, that said that, why do we wait
Yeah.
for Christmas to?
Yeah. Why do we wait? We should, it seemed like, just, I mean, I'm not trying to get political or crazy or nothing, but it seems like here in this country, we spend like the other 350 something days hatred towards one another. And then on Christmas time, everyone has these smiles and loving and stuff. Like, man, come on, let's spread this out through the year so we could be more like this all the time. Don't have to give gifts, but just have that heart where Christmas brings that feel good feeling to you as a kid, to where you're willing to share, you're willing to love, regardless if you know them or not. You're just treating each other respectfully,
Exactly, dude.
100.
That's one of the things, that this part of my stuff going into the new year, outside of real estate and just on a personal level, is like, the most important thing I can give anybody is my time. And there was relationships that impacted my life in a way that I didn't give enough time to, because I was so, I'm so busy. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. And I didn't see it from that point at that time. And it cost me some things, so there's a lot to be said with that. It's a gift you can give all year. It's a gift you can give, any part of the year, any time of day, no matter, what the circumstances are. It's a time, giving someone your time speaks volumes, because it's something that's not replaceable. Once it's spent, it's spent. There's no getting it back.
Right.
So, that's an important gift that we can, definitely cherish and, maximize and give at the same time, and that would kind of please all things in universal aspects, where it brings all that back to you tenfold too.
Great.
I 100% agree with that. Why do we wait till Christmas to make other people feel good and ourselves as a byproduct too? Right? You've heard the saying, it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. It doesn't feel like that sometimes, does it? It feels awful good to receive, but there is something very special about the giving part. And we can do that all year. That's a great point, Mr. Corey. Very great point.
Yeah, I bet your brother had that feeling when he gave you those Nikes, because
Yeah.
he knew what you were going through all the years before that. He watched.
Yeah.
And then one day he just said, hey, I'm going to fix this for you.
Yeah.
And it did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Changed everything for me, man. Changed my life that day. I wore those shoes for fucking forever. Man. I wish I still had them, because they don't make Nikes like that no more. I've went and tried to buy Nikes since then, and man, they just don't feel the same. That pair was a special pair. It was like angel shoes.